What's going on, guys? Back with another video. Yeah, so there's been a lot that you guys have missed. Forgive my microphone setup. I'm doing my iPod because I'm really lazy right now and I'm like super busy. But I wanted to give you guys an update because I did a few things. I crafted some gear. I should have recorded it, but I didn't. But more importantly, I'm in a new kingdom. Yeah, you see all my gear stuff is like 0 now. But yeah, I left 1079 because I was forced to leave because like I couldn't meet the requirements. You know, they're a high A seed, and you know, they're like, hey, we don't want to zero you because I know people there. The leadership so great. Khan, shout out to Khan. You know, great kingdom. And I didn't want to leave, but that's not a kingdom you can just leave an account just sitting there not doing anything in. And so, or like, you know, you can't like just not participate in KVK and still like they'll just, you know, obviously you'll get 0, right? So rather than, and I didn't want to leave. Like, I'm like, dang, is there any other way? But, you know, it was like, okay, whatever. So it just so happened that 2234 was open, like their cap, like, you know how the kingdoms are like closed off and you can't get in. Well, apparently the main alliance in 2234 got sold. Somebody sold the kingdom. And the person that bought the kingdom just was disgruntled and just opened the cap. So like they had this massive influx of people, and my king, he messaged me and was like, yo, 2234 has no cap. Like everybody, like I sent like 15 people there. And I was like, oh, snaps, that's awesome. And then when I looked at the kingdom, you know, at the time, they were in civil war. And like this whole map, you can see like all these flags are disconnected. Like it was crazy. Like it's so unorganized, and like it's, you know, it was pretty much a dead kingdom. But you know, after the Civil War, you know, there's new leadership now. Everybody's picking up the pieces. It's chill. It's laid back. There's no requirements for KVK. I kind of got into it with the kingdom leadership when I first came here because I basically created my own alliance, because y'all know me, like even when I was in, you know, 1079, I was in my own alliance because I like to farm my own resource nodes, right? Because look at what they're doing here, right? And I'm not knocking them, but I'm just showing you an example of why I need to be in my own alliance. Okay, so they're using a slow build on a node, right? One troop. Okay, it's like, but, and we're literally on Marauders, right? Preparing for KVK, and people who are gonna fight need gold. Now, granted, this is you know, a low C seed kingdom, and there are no requirements, so gold is not as important here as it would have been in my old kingdom. But that said, I need to accumulate gold. Like, as you can see, like if we go to Sunset Canyon, I'm number 2 in the entire kingdom. Like, you know, I come from a place where, you know, we had, you know, the new commanders on the wheel and everything. Like, who was on the wheel when I left? I can't remember. I think, you know, they had Ashurbanipal and Mightiest Governor, and like, oh, whatever the new commanders was, I left. So I'm kind of like, let me see. Yeah, like, you know, your boy Herman and all that type of stuff, right? So, you know, and it was getting ready for the new commanders. But here, I think the Wheel of Fortune, they're just now getting Sargon. I mean, the wheel's over now. I wish I could go back and show you. I think the wheel just ended yesterday. Yeah. Mightiest Governor. Yeah, they're on Gorg. They're just now getting Gorgo. So yeah, it's a different time. It's like going back in time, so to speak. But I mean, but like I said, I got into it with them because I came and I started my own alliance and I was getting people in and they was like, no, who authorized you to create this, not the king. The king is cool, but he's got some lieutenants that are, I'm not going to say the word because I don't want to get demonetized, even though I don't make any money. But the point is, he's got some lieutenants with a stick up their ass. And they basically just start coming at my neck all crazy. Who authorized you to build an alliance? And you don't do that without our permission and all this other crazy. He's talking to me crazy. And you know me, I don't like when people talk down to me. And I need to go on a huge rant. But I'm going to save that for a different day. I hate when people tell me what I got to do in this game. Like, I get that the objective is to fight in KVK, and a lot of times the kingdom comes together to do that, but don't tell me what I gotta do. I want to play the game the way I want to play it, okay? Like, I love to be helpful. Like, I'm the best player in the world. When you got me, you got me. I'm loyal. I was in, 1079 for like a gazillion KVKs. I've been playing this game for close to 5 years now. Like, so, it really broke my heart that I had to leave, but it is what it is. I don't play the game that much anymore. And, I didn't want to get zeroed. I've been zeroed like a gazillion times for not meeting requirements. So, in this game, Lilith, the way they have it is stupid, where you have to zero people who you fought side by side with and did things with and had a connection with. Just because they failed to meet some arbitrary requirements that a random group of people say that you have to get. It's stupid. I'm a grown-ass man. I spend money to play this game. I should be able to play this game however the damn well I please without somebody saying, oh, you have to get this many kills or you have to get this many deads and you have to do this and you have to do. I don't have to do anything but stay black and die. Okay? So that's that. And Lilith needs to address that because too many people get zeroed for not playing the way other people want you to play. Okay? And that's stupid. I just actually made a comment on Facebook recently in the ROK Facebook group about this because people were talking about dead weight and rogues. And I'm like, a big reason why people go rogue is because the people who run the kingdom talk to people like they beneath you or like you crazy. Like, don't tell me what I gotta do or else. Like, I'm all for, going by and doing what I gotta do and everything, but don't, like, you're not my boss. You're not my mom. Don't talk down to me. Don't tell me what I must do and who authorized you to, who the fuck? Okay, let me calm down. But anyway, that's basically what happened to me when I first came here. And so we had it out. And I built territory and we went to war and in my little alliance and me and my little 10, 15 people, and we built the fort and they couldn't burn it. They burnt us, but they didn't destroy our fort because I had so much power just by me defending the fort. I think we fought, like I kept them, they were burning it, of course, because it was just me, but they couldn't get my health of the fort down to 0. And it was like 3 days and I'm the only one. Everybody had left to go join the kingdom. They was like, no, because they was like, they saw we were losing and they just jumped ship. And for some of them, I'm like, I don't blame you. You could go be with the kingdom. That's fine. But I'm making a bigger point. And my point is, you're not just going to pigeonhole me and bully me into doing whatever, like go join this other alliance. And I'm like, bro, I'm not hurting nobody. All I want to do is farm. Like, leave me the hell alone. Like, I came here to fucking retire, to be honest. Like, I didn't come here to start no drama. I didn't come here to farm, hit people, and be a terrorist and do other dumb shit that people do in this game. I said, just let me farm in my own alliance with my own node and peace. And this is why, right here, because people do shit like this. How the fuck am I supposed to gather resources if you got a fucking one troop resource node? You see what I mean? Like, that's why I wanted my own alliance. Okay, but apparently you're not allowed to make your own alliance in this kingdom. So whatever. I took my fort down and I joined in with the rest of the kingdom, and everything's been copacetic after that. But it's like I just hate that thing where like you got to do what somebody else tell you to do, or like they just like Lilith needs to like. I get that this is a war game, so you can't compromise that element. You should be free to attack anybody, anytime. I get you don't want to mess with that mechanic. That's fine. I get that. But goddamn, like the fact that some random people can just get together and decide what you can and cannot do, I hate that about this game. So that's where we're at now. You know, I'm in peace. I burnt up all my resources fighting them when I first got here because I couldn't have my own alliance, apparently. But that's spilt milk under the bridge. Everybody's cool. We made up. We schmoozed. You know, everything's okay. All right, we're done. So, but otherwise, this kingdom is laid back. It's like I said, it's a low CC kingdom. There are no requirements. That's exactly what I need for my account at this point in time. At some point, if I become more active, I'll probably go back to 79 and play, when I can, have more time to be more active in the game. And that's just the reality. My farm is still there. In 79, so there's that. Because I didn't want to bring my farm because you don't know what you're coming into, and I'm glad I didn't because I came into a fucking civil war right at the tail end when the winning alliance had won and they took back the Lost Temple and they kicked out the person who had bought the kingdom. And they closed registration, so people can't just freely enter anymore, illegal immigrants. You know, so that's kind of like my little story. I wish I could have recorded some of the battles, but you know, it was happening so fast, and I didn't expect to come here under hostile circumstances because if the cap's open and there's no leadership and the kingdom is in civil war, why the fuck would anybody care if you built an alliance? But I guess they felt, well, after we take Lost Temple, we're going to bring in a new regime and establish new rules. And then, you know, you got to do whatever we say. But whatever. The point is, I wanted to have my own alliance so I can have access to gathering a ton of resources, right? Because that's just what I've been used to doing. I've done that in every kingdom I've ever been in, and nobody else has ever had a problem with it until now. But, okay. Now, fast forward to right now. I just crafted some legendary gear. I didn't get the crit, unfortunately. I am still using unmaxed XY, which is pretty ugly and stupid. I just crafted these pants. The whole point of this video was to show you some of the stuff I'm doing, right? I know this is not the greatest gear in the world. Yes, I know. But for this kingdom, it's pretty good. So we got 31% attack, 17% defense, and 20% health. Wish we had a little bit more health than that, you know, but it is what it is at this point. It's a pretty balanced thing. I mean, you want to be like 40% in every category, ideally, and the only way to do that is to make more stuff. I don't have any more materials, as you just saw, because I just crafted that. I should have made a video about the other thing I crafted, which was, oh no, my Quran is looking terrible. What did I craft last? I crafted a Ring of Doom that I got the crit on, which is nice, right? And I also created a Mora's Web. I was conflicted on whether I should make Mora's Web or the Horn of Fury. And when I saw Wick's old video about the way that the Horn of Fury works in the Rage generation, I was like, I'm just going to get Mora's Web. It's better in field fighting scenarios anyway. You know, so you got the ring and Mora's Web, and, you know, obviously you could also get like a few other things, but I was like, you know what, whatever. So I say all that to come to the maxing of a player. Like, you know, I still have to unlock Justinian, and I don't know. I'm not a rally lead, so I'm not going to unlock him. Herman, The only reason why I'm not gonna max, I'm choosing to max um not 𝐿𝐿𝐶, damn it, what's his name? 𝐻𝐿. The reason why I'm choosing to max 𝐻𝐿 over Herman right now is because I don't have good gear for my archers, and I don't have a lot of I don't open field. I need to get archers open. I don't have a single open field march. My troops are totally messed up and destroyed after I fought against this kingdom when I first came. But yeah, my best gear for archers is ass. Like, I'm not going anywhere fast with this gear. Like, this is not, I mean, this is the base model gear for archers, like, right? I mean, I got the Milky Way, but that's not going to work. Like, long term, all this has to get transferred to legendary gear. We also need a crit on this archer attack, so I don't want to use an iconic crystal on that. Because we don't want archer attack, we want to crit, iconic crystal stuff that has health on it, right? So eventually all of this stuff is going to have to go and be changed over, even though it's special talented purple set, which is okay. Like, in this kingdom, I can get away with that. And in Canyon, in my old kingdom, I could get away with that because I always put 𝐿𝐿𝐶 behind someone else. So it was like, and then, I got 𝐿𝐿𝐶. Obviously this gear is trash, but that's not the point. 𝐿𝐿𝐶 is 5552. Now I could go ahead and max her in this video, but obviously that's not going to do me any good, because obviously we know that 𝐿𝐿𝐶 is not the jam anymore. I mean, she's good because her first skill makes it so that you take 35% more damage, skill damage, which is amazing. But compared to Herman Prime, she's basically a relic, because Herman Prime does AoE damage, and he makes it so that you take poison stacks that make you take more skill damage. So if you got to choose between 𝐿𝐿𝐶 and Herman Prime, it's Herman Prime all day, tomorrow, and twice on Sunday. I mean, it's no question. It's not even a discussion, right? So why would I put sculptures into a commander that I know is not going to be relevant moving forward? So even though my 𝐿𝐿𝐶 is 5552, that's pretty much where she's going to stay, unless I get like the gold chest KBK things that, you can do over time. So, yeah. I don't, and that's the thing. Always remember, pro tip, go for the commanders that are meta, who you have gear for. So I have gear for, like, a second set of gear that's for infantry and calves. I don't have a second set of gear for archers. So realistically, I can only run one max. Like, I have a complete gold set, right? A legendary crit set of infantry gear, and I have a legendary crit set of legendary gear for calves, right? And then I got like a partially gold set for calves, and then I got like another partial gold set for infantry somewhere around here, but it's all mixed between different commanders. Yeah, see. But like, if I wanted to like go through my secondary sets for infantry, I could put together like a really decent set. This is like a okay trash set. That helmet is making the helmet is really what makes this gear trash, because that's obviously a archer helmet, but I crit it for infantry because I didn't have any patterns for any better gear at the time. And you do get what is it, 6.5% infantry defense, whatever. Don't laugh at me, but whatever. But yeah, as you can see, we got two legendary pieces of defense right there. So this from a defensive standpoint, we got 39% defense. I mean, that's pretty good, right? Only 10% health. You don't love that. you know, but this is for Canyon. Obviously, nobody's open fielding with Constantine, right? So look at it that way. But the point is, and also have Max 𝐿𝐿𝐒. So now I know that, you know, the other Prime just came out or is about to come out. What's his name? What is that dude's name? The new dang, what are those things? My brain is fried, I'm sorry. The new cavalry commanders. Yes. Her, what's his name? He's a Prime. He's a version of a commander we already have in the game. But I think it's one of the purple. What's that purple? Belisarius. Okay, Belisarius Prime. So he's coming out in my old kingdom here within the next few weeks whenever he drops. Right? Nobody in this kingdom is going to have access to Belisarius for at least another, I don't know how many cycles. But I don't know how Belisarius is going to be, but my goal is to max 𝐿𝐿 so that I can pair him with Belisarius. Because I can get all my sculptures back by the time we get him on the wheel in our kingdom. So that's kind of my plan. I was going to skip 𝐿𝐿 completely and wait for the next calves after Belisarius. So like a whole new cycle of infantry, a whole new cycle of everything else, you know, before we get to, you know, to see what that was and maybe save like 1,400 sculptures by that time. But now that I'm in a newer kingdom, I can just, you know, max 𝐿𝐿 and feel okay about it because I know I'm going to have him for the time being. So enough with the prefacing and let's get to it. Upgrade, 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 and upgrade. First 5 skills were free because I spent the will to make that so. And now we will go ahead and get some knowledge tomes onto him. And let's see here. No, we don't want to reset them. I forgot what I'm doing. Oh, yeah. Duh. Develop. Okay, and then we want to skill lock this so that these 2 skills are the only ones there. Universal sculptures. Universal sculptures. Universal sculptures. Universal sculptures. And get this back here. Now, I'm trying to think which one of these do we want, or does it matter? I guess it doesn't matter. Let me see. Why won't it let me drag it? Oh, because it's not unlocked. Duh. Common sense. Where's my brain at? I gotta hurry up and do this. Because it's like my background is about to get noisy, so that's why I'm trying to hurry up. Alright, there we go. Universal sculptures in. There we go. $80 for the last 2 skills. That sucks. Yes. And here we go. Expertise 𝐿𝐿. Give it to me, baby. Conquered 𝐘𝐻𝐻. Whatever that means. Awesome. Check this out. All right. So because my background's getting noisy or about to get noisy, I want to spare you guys from that, but I'll level him up and get his gear on him and do the testing and all that in a new video. If you like what I do, like and subscribe. You can continue to follow my journey. I'm in a new kingdom, but I'm still going to be making content, still going to be doing me, baby. So like and subscribe till we meet again. See you next time.